A lot of people would say they don't want to spend a lot of time cooking, but I'd argue that the more time you spend, the better what you make could be. Dry aged beef, fine wines, nice chocolate, braised ribs. So I'm here to ask one question. Does time spent cooking always equal better food? Which leads us to today's subject, fried rice. Really, this is something that should just take a few minutes, but today we're making a 3-minute, 3-hour, and a 3-day fried rice to see which one really is worth the time. Let's begin.
So does a 3-minute fried rice even exist? Yes, this includes the cooking of the rice because there isn't any cooking of the rice. I don't want anybody in the comments going, oh Josh, that's not 3 minutes because I gotta cook the rice and Okay, fine, listen, I want to understand and be helpful here. So yeah, we're using pre-made rice. Can't say I'm happy with it, but it's the only way to make this take 3 minutes. There is no cooking rice in 3 minutes, maybe in the future. At least it's a brand of rice that I somewhat like. I'll be honest with you, that could completely ruin this, but we'll find out. Now, to prove that this was 3 minutes, I'm gonna start a 3-minute timer right here, and we're gonna cook this together. Here we go. So first you need a wok. But I don't have a wok. Okay, then use a big pan. It's all right, just use a big pan. Totally fine. But I mean, obviously you won't get the wok. Hey. So you're gonna add a generous amount of oil to that wok. Put it on high heat. Once the oil is ripping hot, crack 1 to 2 eggs into that, season with salt. Use a chopstick to break that up. Then you're gonna add half a cup or 70 grams of frozen mixed vegetables. Yes, the peas and the carrots. Am I a fan of this? Absolutely not. But guess what? It's 3-minute fried rice. Then you're gonna add 2 packs of nishiki pre-cooked steamed white rice. These are 7.4 ounces each. Obviously break it up, toss it in the pan until hot. At this point I was around 1 minute and 12 seconds in. It's looking good. Then you're gonna add half a teaspoon or 2 grams of MSG, 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of sriracha, 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of garlic powder. Yes, garlic powder. You don't even have to chop garlic. Oh my God. 1.5 tablespoons or 20 grams of soy sauce. I would be shocked if this is good, but I'm trying to keep this 3 minutes. Toss to combine and stir fry until hot and you get a little bit of wok hay. Plate that up, and optionally you can add some green onion on top, but guess what? You don't have to. And that finalizes, boom, under 3 minutes. So we're gonna call it 3 minutes just to keep the title, to be honest with you.
There's no protein in this, which bothers me. I'm really curious to see where this rice ends up going. It looks a little too moist.
If this is good, I'm getting like 20 packs of those and just putting them in my pantry.
It is overcooked.
The flavor's there. I've had worse fried rices at actual restaurants.
This was actually less than 3 minutes. Frozen vegetables, I just threw everything in there. We added garlic powder to save time, obviously. It tastes pretty good. My one complaint is purely textural. The rice is pretty overcooked and kind of turns into a bit of mush, but the flavor's there. I mean, for 3 minutes, that's pretty ballin'. I know Vikram's gonna do this when he gets back home.
You can tell that their cooling process isn't the same as if you just like cooked rice and cooled it, because you can see the starch is starting to form bonds like a risotto would.
That's pretty much the texture. It's like a risotto fried rice, which isn't something I'm gonna be craving all the time, but it's crazy how quick you can make this.
This is good. Moving on to the 3-hour. Hey guys, okay. Hey guys, okay, yep, that's fine. Ah, why are there so many of me? Who put these here? Ah, please, no more. I've seen enough of myself. Ah! My new cookbook, Texture Over Taste, is out, by the way. Did you know that? It's a New York Times bestseller, thanks to you. The link's in the description. Go grab yourself a copy. Love you so much. On to the video.
Moving on to the 3-hour fried rice. I'm surprised by how well the 3-minute did. Will it be worth it to jump to 3 hours? Start by washing 2 cups or 340 grams of white rice, ideally short grain. Wash that 2 to 3 times till the water runs clear. Pop that into a rice cooker with equal parts water and close the lid and let it do its thing. It'll do a little song. Oh, it's so very nice. Love, love. Ha ha. Next, we're gonna make a chashu pork belly. And yes, you can fit that in 3 hours. You're gonna get a large pan over medium-high heat. Add a touch of vegetable oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. And then you're gonna add 2 pounds or 900 grams of skinned pork belly cut into 3/4 inch cubes. Sear that for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. You can sear all the sides, or you can sear 1 to 2. It's up to you. Remove the pork belly from the pan. Set over medium heat and add half a bunch of green onions cut into 2-inch segments, 1 shallot peeled and halved, a 1-inch piece of ginger peeled and rough chopped, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of sugar, half a cup or 120 milliliters of sake, half a cup or 120 milliliters of water, half a cup or 120 milliliters of mirin, and half a cup or 120 milliliters of a nice soy sauce. Increase your heat to medium-high, bring that to a boil, add in your seared pork belly, reduce the heat to low, bring to a nice light simmer. Ideally cover with a lid and braise for 2 hours. Now while that's going, we're gonna make some crispy shallots. I would recommend starting with a minimum of 3 whole medium shallots with their tops cut off, peeled. And look, obviously you can do more than that. You can do 50 shallots if you wanted. That's just a lot of crispy shallots. 3 is plenty. So slice those thinly on a mandolin, about 1/8 of an inch thick. Add this to a medium-sized pot, filled about halfway with vegetable oil. Yes, the oil is cold. Do not turn your heat on yet. Now you're gonna turn your heat on to medium-high and continuously stir while they cook. First they'll start at a light bubble, then they'll get a little bit more aggressive, then really aggressive. Just keep stirring and letting them fry. Be careful not to splash yourself. And you'll know they're done once they begin to turn golden and most of the bubbling has subsided. Pull those out, transfer those to a paper towel lined baking tray using a spider. Spread the shallots out so they cool and season immediately with salt. Finally, our wok. At this point, you're probably still waiting for your pork belly, and your rice should be about done. So pull your rice out, spread it onto a baking sheet, and let it cool in the fridge until you're ready to put it in the wok. You want this to be as cold as possible, okay? Yeah, that's right, buddy. I'm not gonna ask you to leave it in the fridge overnight. This is 3 hours fried rice. Now, once your pork belly's done, it's glazed and beautiful and tender like this, ready for the rice. You got crispy shallots, and your rice should be at least chilled. Now, it's wok time. So set your wok over high heat. Add a generous amount of vegetable oil to coat the wok. Now to that, you're gonna add 1 finely diced shallot and just the whites of 1 bunch of green onions, thinly sliced. Stir fry that nicely until just beginning to turn translucent. Crack in 2 eggs, season lightly with salt, scramble them beautifully. Then you're gonna add 3 cups of your cooked rice. Then add 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of ground white pepper, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of MSG. Yes, we love MSG here, okay? 3 hours, 3 seconds, 350,000 years, I don't care, I'm adding MSG. Toss to combine, then add 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of sweet soy. Remember how we used the green onion whites earlier? Now you're gonna add half of the remaining green part of the green onions, thinly sliced, 3 cloves of garlic finely chopped, and toss to combine. Pop that into a bowl, top with your chashu pork belly, with some additional thinly sliced green onion on top if desired, and of course your fried shallots. And to sandwich that all in there, a little extra Despite the fact that that's a 3-hour fried rice, it looks like a 3-day fried rice. Let's taste.
3 hours to make this. I will say it does look beautiful. I mean, you have glistening, caramelized, soft pork belly, crispy shallots, fried rice. You got 3 versions of green onion in this. There's fully cooked, par cooked, and raw. That's all the colors of the rainbow.
What the? This is really good.
There's layered textures in this one. What stands out to me over the last one is the bitiness of it, which you get with this chilled rice. I make fried rice all the time, and sometimes I won't chill my rice, and sometimes I will. And that time alone improves it so much.
Even if you took the pork belly off of this, cooking the rice fresh made a big difference. So this is already immediately better than the previous one, but you have to have that 2 to 3 hour cooling time minimum. This is infinitely better than the last one. And that, for 3 hours, 100% worth it, 100% better. Moving on, the final one, 3 days.
So what does a 3-day fried rice look like? Oh, I'll show you, sweetheart. First, the short rib. In a blender, add 4 star anise, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of black peppercorns, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of Szechuan peppercorn. Blend until a fine dust. Toss that together with half a cup or 60 grams of kosher salt. Stir until completely combined. Then you're gonna take 2 pounds or 900 grams of bone-in short ribs. You can use the ones that are cut into chunks, or you can use the whole short rib like these guys. It really doesn't matter. Don't worry too much if you can't find it. Season those generously with your spice mix. Pop those into a vac seal bag, vacuum seal them, and then place into a sous vide set to 69 degrees Celsius, nice, and cook for 72 hours. So I know that we're already at 3 days here, but it doesn't stop with that. On that same day, you're gonna take half a pound or 225 grams of red Fresno chilies, half a pound or 225 grams of red jalapeno peppers. By the way, if you don't have either of these, you can go all the jalapeno pepper, all red Fresno. It's really up to you, and it's okay if the jalapenos are green. Remove their tops. Now get yourself 1 quart of water and stir in 30 grams of kosher salt. Mix until combined, then get yourself a large 1 to 1.5 quart size mason jar. Add in 6 cloves of garlic, lightly crushed, your peppers, and cover with your brine. To ensure they're submerged, you can use a little bit of plastic wrap, cover lightly with a lid, and let that ferment for 3 days. So they'll be done by the time the short rib's done. So on the 72nd hour, take your short ribs out and place them in the fridge until cold and the fat is solidified. Ideally, you want to ice bath these before you put them in the fridge, by the way. It's actually safer to do that first. Be safe. Love you. Straighten your peppers out of the brine, add the solids to a blender, along with 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of non-prick pow, or chili jam, really whatever you're feeling. Begin blending on low, adding just a tiny splash of water to loosen. Once that starts vortexing, blend on high until as smooth as possible. Then optionally, you can add a tiny pinch of xanthan gum to help hold its smoothness together. Pour that out into a squirt bottle and you have lacto fermented chili sauce. Now we have 1 shallot, finely diced, 3 garlic cloves, finely chopped. We have 1 bunch of green onions. Separate the whites from the greens. Into a small bowl, add 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of shrimp paste, 3.5 tablespoons or 32 grams of mushroom soy sauce, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of sweet soy sauce, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of your fermented pepper sauce. You can go higher than that, but be aware it is spicy. Now, before we go into the wok, we need to deal with this short rib. Take your chilled short ribs out. I'm just doing 1 here. You can do however many you have. Now, carefully cut the short rib off the bone, but keep the bone. Season lightly with salt to taste. Then in a medium-sized non-stick pan, set over medium heat, add your short rib and just let that cook down and get a nice crust, nice and slow, about 3 minutes per side. Add your bone to the pan as well, because you want to heat this up 2. I'll tell you why in a second. Once it's hot and nicely browned, you can optionally brush that with some sweet soy and then just keep that warm. Now, the fried rice. Heat your wok over high heat. I added a little bit of chopped short rib trim that I found. That's totally optional. A couple tablespoons of vegetable oil. Then once that's ripping hot, add in 2 beaten eggs, season to taste with salt, stir fry to break up in curd, then remove the eggs. Add another couple tablespoons of vegetable oil. And again, once hot, you're gonna add those diced shallots, thinly sliced green onion whites. Season lightly with salt, stir fry till soft. Then you're gonna go in with about 4 cups of cooked white short grain rice. This rice was cooked, placed on a sheet tray, and chilled in the fridge overnight prior to use. For the best fried rice, that's what you want. And this is the only fried rice out of all these that has this, so hopefully that makes the texture even better. Stir fry to incorporate, add a pinch of ground white pepper, 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of MSG. Toss together, add in your egg back, toss that together, and finally add your sauce, toss to combine, and last but not least, you add 3 cloves of very finely chopped garlic, raw. Always add this at the end. I think it makes the fried rice so much better, and you avoid having bitter garlic in there. You cut off the heat, toss that together just to lightly heat that garlic up. Optionally, you can add the greens from your green onion as well, and it's time to plate. First, your fried rice into a bowl, and I kept thinking, how do I want to serve this short rib? Oh wait, you still have that bone. Here's a little presentation trick for you, sweetheart. Take your short rib meat, slice that carefully with the sharpest knife you have. You slice from heel to tip, tip to heel, full gentle strokes, or you will break up the short rib. It's so tender right now. And you're gonna slice those into about 1/2 inch thick pieces. Keep it into all one piece, pop your bone onto the rice, and gently lay your sliced short rib on top of that bone. Top of the little extra fresh green onion on top of just the short rib. And I mean, look at this thing. The rib, the meat, the fried rice, the bones sticking out. Bon appetit.
This seems like a very unfair play here. If all 3 of these were put in front of us, I would pick this one without even thinking. My body would just be like, ah. Damn. I don't know what I like more, the rib or the rice.
That's insane. I've had a 3-day short rib before. This, with all the new things added to it, is out of this world. This is the greatest bite of food I think I've had thus far in my life.
The funny thing is no one will make this. Everyone's gonna be like, I don't have time for that. You don't have time for the greatest bite in your life. Not that much additional effort, a lot more wait time. Great things take time. This is at least 3 to 4 times better than the 3-hour fried rice.
I thought the 3-hour rice was gonna be hard to beat. And then I took a bite of this. And I was like, damn, this is probably the best fried rice I've ever had.
The 3-minute one was like a lowercase fried rice. This is like bold, gigantic text fried rice. Completely worth the time.
Which means time won yet again. It always wins. But listen, you could always just make the 3-hour fried rice and you'll get the best of both worlds and you don't get the short rib. But I gotta say, sometimes just being patient will lead to a better dish. I'm not saying you have to. This isn't gonna be yours. I got home at 3 a.m. drunk and I'm gonna whip this up real quick. No, it will take you a few days and it is what it is. But guess what? Sometimes great things take time. Everyone wants a shortcut in life, and today there wasn't one. But at least there was something good at the end of the story. Now, do me a favor and go make something like fried rice.